Colbyjack.net is proud to present From the Flames by Trisha M. Wilson. The people of the fire, the Blesa, led by their queens, have ruled the island of Alfeyju and oppressed the Driva, the people of the ice, for more than 16 generations. With the Drivian King in hiding and little hope on the horizon, the Driva looked to one person to save them from the vile Blesa, the Diviana. According to legend, the divinely gifted Diviana will one day overthrow the Blesa and restore the Drivian King to his rightful throne. But with the search having lasted for more than 400 years, will the Diviana ever come to light? Willow is the slave of the Raskpil family. Bought at the age of 4, 20 years have passed since her life irrevocably changed. Her existence is no worse than any other slave, but within, Willow wonders if there isn't something more she should be doing with her life other than serving the ungrateful. Ordered to travel with her master's family to Sondertoft, so her master's adult children can take part in an ancient rite of passage, Willow is shocked when she learns that she too must participate. Will she fail, as all before her have? Will she rise to the challenge and become stronger after passing through the flames? Episode 42, Chapter 24. Adelina. Pain was the first thing Willow felt, even before she realized she was waking up. It radiated from her back and her head to her whole body. It didn't even matter that she wasn't moving, because with every breath she took, she felt as if she were breathing in and out not air, but soreness, aching, and discomfort. Opening her eyes, but careful not to move any other part of her body, she gazed up and saw the grayness of rocks. Rocks! Why are there rocks above me? She asked herself, even as she studied the rocks, searching for an answer. Giving up after a minute, because thinking hurt her already aching head, she forced her arms to move enough so she could push herself into a sitting position. Not that she thought it would help her aches, but she'd come to the conclusion while looking at those rocks that lying on her back wasn't going to help her situation any. Though what exactly her situation was, she wasn't sure. But she knew she was in some sort of situation, and it probably wasn't good. Getting into that sitting position took a lot more liveliness than she'd have liked, but after a few tries, she made it. Only to have the discomfort, which had been down to a gentle roar, come back in full force. Cupping her head in her hands as she hunched over, it wasn't until the pounding behind her eyes had stopped that she realized she wasn't holding on to Val. Forcing herself to pick her head up and look for him, she saw him lying on the other side of the cave. Willow was content to leave him there for now, for she didn't think she had the energy to summon him or crawl over and get him. Now that she knew where he was, Willow began peering around in search of the entrance to the cave. Seeing the weak rays of dawn reaching toward her, she followed them, hoping the treasure she sought would be in the same direction. In addition to the way out, however, there was another surprise waiting for her, unexpected and only half unwanted. A white leopard with black spots, more massive than anything she'd ever seen before, was sprawled in the dawn's rays, basking in the warmth found there. Sensing her gaze, the leopard turned its head toward her and stared. Vivid, vibrant, intelligent green eyes met Willow's as they studied each other, both trying to figure out what the other would do. Endless ages later, Willow broke eye contact and looked between the cave mouth, which was on the other side of the leopard, and Val, still on the opposite wall of the cave. She wondered if she'd have enough time to call for Val before the leopard would attack her. Her time ran out quicker than she'd expected, because with a growl, the leopard was on its feet and walking toward Willow. Scrambling backwards, Willow said, "Nice leopard, pretty leopard, you don't want to eat me." Realizing her time to escape was growing shorter as the seconds passed, she stopped her backward motion, struggled to her feet, and held out her hand, summoning Val to her. Just feeling the staff in her hand was a great comfort to Willow. Halting mid-stride, the leopard watched Willow carefully, as if waiting to see what her next move would be. "Talk to her," Val said, unconcerned that the leopard could pounce at any second. "Shouldn't we be—" What was the point in looking for the leopard if when you find her you refuse to talk to her? You're here. She's here. Talk! "Good leopard," she repeated, trying to form a coherent thought. The leopard started toward her, but stopped when she took a step backward. Seeing the leopard's actions, it occurred to Willow that plenty of time had passed, easily giving the leopard the chance to hurt or even kill her. But it hadn't. "What do I say?" "Introduce yourself and take it from there," Val advised, as if this type of thing happened every day, and the answer should have been obvious. Clearing her throat, Willow said, "I am Willow. What's your name?" The second she asked her question, she thought to herself, "Stupid! Why did I ask that? It's not like she can answer." "Don't be so sure," a female voice said. Whipping her head around, she expected to see another person in the cave. There was no other person. Where had the voice come from? Bringing her attention back to the leopard, a random thought came to her mind. "No," she mumbled. "She couldn't have responded to my thoughts." The leopard growled in response, and a voice in her mind said, "And why not? Just because I'm a leopard doesn't mean I don't have thoughts and feelings like you." But what? You talk to a staff, an inanimate object, and it answers you, even going as far to have a conversation with you. And you have trouble believing a living, breathing, intelligent animal can talk to you? Hurt entered the leopard's voice. "I'm sorry," Willow responded honestly. "You surprised me. That's all. I didn't mean to offend you." "Maybe if you thought before you spoke, you wouldn't hurt people's feelings with your thoughtlessness." Before Willow could defend herself, Val said, "She's still new to all this, so I'd let her off the hook. But if we come across one more thing that can talk and she freaks out, then we have a problem." "Fine," the leopard conceded. "But if there is a next time, I get first dibs at punishment." "Agreed," Val said. "Hey," Willow yelled, "nobody's going to punish me for anything, and I'm over my initial surprise, okay? So will you answer the question?" she asked. "What question? I only remember you insulting me." "Your name. What is your name, Madam Leopard?" "You may call me, Diviana," she responded in a noble voice. "I'm Willow, and this cranky old staff of mine is Valdis." "But I prefer to be called Val," he finished. "Adelina, why did you bring me here? You were the animal chasing me last night, weren't you?" Willow asked, sitting down on the cave floor in order to see Adelina better. "Yes, I chased you. And what did you expect me to do with you after you fell down that hill? Eat you? Kill you? If that's what you really want me to do, I'd be happy to oblige you," Adelina said, taking a few steps closer to Willow. She licked her lips and displayed her very sharp teeth. "No, I don't want you to kill or eat me," Willow said, exasperated. The pounding in her head, which had been pushed to the back of her consciousness, came back in full force. She put a hand to her head, hoping the coolness on her forehead would calm the pounding down. "I appreciate you bringing us to your cave, but why?" Sprawling on the cave floor, Adelina said, "I recognized your scent the instant you and your companions entered the forest." "My scent?" Willow repeated in amazement. Adelina growled again, and Val said, "She's gonna hurt you if you continue to question everything she says. I suggest you let her say whatever she wants, and stop acting so surprised." Nodding in agreement, Willow pressed her mouth shut, determined to stop any comments that might be considered rude or out of line. Adelina stayed quiet for a second, as if waiting for her to say something. But when Willow didn't, she said, "To answer your question, yes, I could smell you the second you stepped in the forest. My sense of smell is very acute, and even if I'd been twice the distance away, I would have smelled you." "How far were you?" Willow asked before she could stop herself. "Far enough. It took me half a day to get back here as it was," she answered. "I was going to wait until today to meet you, but when you woke up and came toward me alone, I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to introduce myself to you without the others interfering." "Who are they, anyway? Your mates?" "Humans don't have mates," Willow responded. "But to answer your question, they're not my boyfriends. They're my friends. I'll introduce you later, if we can find them." "Don't worry about not finding them," Val said. "I bet our new friend, Adelina, can guide us to them in a heartbeat." "For a staff, he is really very smart," Adelina said, tilting her head slightly. Her ears flicked and rotated toward the entrance of the cave. After a minute, she turned her attention back to Willow. "They're awake and calling for you. They haven't left your camp yet, but from what I gathered yesterday, they aren't the most patient humans on the island." "They do have their faults," Willow conceded. "But I'll worry about them later. Right now, I want to know everything about you. Are you one of the sacred objects I'm searching for, or do you hide or protect what I seek?" "I hide nothing. I protect nothing. For all the centuries I've lived, I've known you would come sooner or later. But other than that knowledge, I've lived and acted like the leopard I am," Adelina said. "My existence now changes with your presence. The women who raised me and imparted me with my gifts told me a story I've never truly believed until now." "What story? What women?" Val asked. "I know very little of the women. I was only a cub at the time, and was more concerned with playing than investigating my caretakers. Before they released me to my current home, they told me the story. One day, in the distant future, not tomorrow, or even a year from now, a person would come looking for me. I would recognize their scent, for they had been marked, and I would help them in their endeavors, be they hard or easy. Others, impostors and killers alike, would come looking for me, trying to tame me for their own selfish reasons, or kill me for a trophy. But I was only to go with the chosen one, the one who had the ability to converse with me and guide me to a more meaningful existence than that of an ordinary animal." "But why? Do you have special powers or abilities which make you unique amongst your kind?" Willow asked. "Perhaps," Adelina answered mysteriously. "What about you? What makes you different than the hundreds of humans I've killed?" You have been listening to From the Flames by Trisha M. Wilson. Read, recorded, mastered, encoded, and produced by Colbyjack.net. This work is released under a Creative Commons 3.0 Attribution, Non-Commercial, Share-alike license. Do what you want with it, just don't try to profit from it. Heaven knows we can't. If you have any questions, comments, or rants you wish to share with us, we can be reached at Colbyjack.net. That's COLBYTRAX @COLBYJACK.net. Yep, I sing it too. If you want to follow the exploits of Trisha in Twitterland, just search for Lady Trisha W on Twitter, or follow the ever-dashing, courageous, hardworking, intelligent, and immensely humble Colbyjack on the Twitters as well. If you find that you can't just wait to find out what will happen with Willow, the strong dude and the annoying dude, be heartened to know that From the Flames is available from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Smashwords, as well as from our little shop. Didn't you know about our little shop? Why, yes, we have a little shop located at shop. That's shop.colbyjack.net. That's shop.colbyjack.net. Yeah, real original there. There you will find the latest ebook versions of all our works in both Mobi and ebook, all DRM-free, as well as audiobook versions of such works as Firmware Hijacked and Proxy, as well, naturally, as well as From the Flames. The audiobooks differ from the podcasts in that the headers and bumpers only run once, and the episodes are grouped into hour-long episodes for easy burning to CD or for downloading on the go. If you find you don't need any stuff, but just want to thank us monetarily for our efforts here, just head on over to Colbyjack.net, select either audio or visual, and look for the donate button located on the blog roll. Well, anyway, thank you for listening. Have a wonderful week, and remember to be fabulous.